My roommate said her period had started and asked if I had a spare tampon. I didn't lend her one. Instead, I stood right up in the middle of the lecture hall and shouted to the entire class, "Hey, Mindy's on her period and needs a tampon. Does anyone have one she can borrow?" In my previous life, I had been kind. I rummaged through my bag and handed her one. How was I to know that 3 days later, she would test positive for HIV and face expulsion? Choking back tears, she had told everyone, "I only borrowed one tampon from Chloe. The plastic wrapping was already torn open, but I didn't think much of it at the time. I don't know if she did it on purpose, but now I'm infected. My life is completely ruined." Dean Vance didn't even listen to my explanation. He suspended me on the spot and called the police, accusing me of intentionally transmitting an infectious disease. Not only did I lose my degree and my study abroad fellowship, I was doxxed and relentlessly cyberbullied on Instagram and TikTok, making it impossible to live a normal life. In the end, I jumped from a highway bridge, ending my own life. Only after my death did I find out that Mindy had been infected long before that day. She had been sleeping with multiple guys at the same time. Fearing expulsion once her test results leaked, she used me as a scapegoat. She also wanted to get me kicked out of school so she could steal my slot for the prestigious study abroad fellowship. In this life, I rejected you in front of the entire class. Let's see how you're going to pin your disease on me this time. Chloe, are you out of your mind? Mindy stood up abruptly. More than 40 pairs of eyes in the lecture hall instantly locked onto her. She clutched her lower stomach, her eyes already pooling with tears. If you didn't want to lend me one, you could have just said so. Did you really have to scream it out? I capped my pen, my face completely expressionless. A period is a perfectly normal biological process. It's not something to be ashamed of. You were too shy to ask, so I was just helping you out. She was left completely speechless. Around us, some students ducked their heads to hide their snickers, while others muttered that I was being too blunt. Mindy glared at me. Never mind. She grabbed her bag, hunched over, and walked out of the classroom. After class, the Snapchat group chat instantly blew up. Someone joked, "Lamau, Chloe's shout literally woke me up from my nap today." Mindy's face turned completely green. But honestly, girls shouldn't blast each other like that over a tampon. Mindy didn't reply in the group chat. Instead, she posted a picture on her Instagram story. There was no caption, just a photo of a hospital corridor featuring an IV stand, a sterile white wall, and a glimpse of her pale wrist. 10 minutes later, the replies poured in. "What happened, babe? Is it bad cramps?" She sent a blanket reply to everyone. "I'm fine. It was just my own carelessness." The next day, Mindy didn't show up for lectures. By the third day, she still hadn't returned to our suite. My other two suite mates, Haley and Jessica, were whispering in the common area. "What is actually going on with Mindy?" She said it's too private to talk about. In the afternoon, right after I stepped out of the library, my phone rang. It was Dean Vance. "Chloe, come to the student affairs office right now." When I arrived, Mindy was sitting on the couch, her face deathly pale, clutching a medical report in her hand. Dr. Cooper from the campus clinic was also there. Dean Vance sat behind his desk, his brow furrowed in a deep scowl. "Chloe, Mindy has raised a very serious accusation against you." Mindy looked up at me. Her eyes were red and swollen, as if she had been crying all night. "Chloe, I didn't want to make a big deal out of this," she said, her voice trembling. "But I'm just so scared." Dean Vance slid the medical report across the desk. "Mindy got tested at the university hospital. She tested positive for an infection." He paused, adjusting his glasses. "She claims that a few days ago, she borrowed a feminine hygiene product from you." I asked, "Did she actually borrow one?" Mindy burst into tears immediately. "You didn't lend me one in class that day, but you did the night before in our dorm. I asked you, and you grabbed one from your drawer. I saw the plastic packaging was slightly torn at the corner, but I didn't think much of it then." Dean Vance said in a stern voice, "Chloe, denying this won't help you. You must cooperate with the university and go to the clinic for a full panel test immediately." I never gave her anything. "It's not up to you to decide whether you did or didn't."